Hi, everyone. I hope all is well with you. My name is Dr. Chanel, and I thank you all for tuning in to Pretty Doc Ministries, where I am on a mission to edify, exhort, and empower you in your walk in Christ. So, for today's message, I would like to talk about how favor brings the unworthy contenders. Okay, now I know this might sound too shallow or whatever, but I want to explain every part of what I'm saying because, again, I want to empower you because a lot of times on this journey, we're just trying to do good. Okay, those of us who are chosen, those of us who have given our life to Christ, and we're working hard at becoming better versions of ourselves. And yet, at times along the way, we encounter some opposition and we don't know where it's coming from. So, I want to encourage you on this note that, and this doesn't only happen to Christians, okay? But even so, because as a Christian, you have a better hope. You have a greater hope, okay, than anybody on this planet because you believe in Christ, okay? But when you are doing what you're supposed to do at times, sometimes people envy that. And some people look at your life and they can have more than you, y'all. This is something I had learned firsthand, and God had to make this known to me. Okay, it wasn't evident right away, but I'm going to explain all that in a little bit. But people can have more than you, okay, and still despise you because you have character where it counts. All right. And I'm not saying this to brag, but I'm showing you what has been my experience, and also too, so you could see this thing that's going on in your life, why some people can't stand you. And you don't know why. In your mind, you think because they have more than you. They have X, Y, and Z. And in their minds, to you, you just thinking, oh, they hate you. No, they see something in you that they don't see in them. And that's why they can't stand you. And no matter how much material possessions that they get, there's something about you that they cannot compete with. Okay? And 9 times out of 10, it's just because they're not filled with God. They don't have God in them. And if they have God in them, then they're compromised somewhere in their journey. They lost focus. But bottom line is, I want you to be encouraged because I don't want you to give in to these naysayers. And a lot of times you got to outwit them. And the only way that you can outwit them is walking the straight and narrow. Okay. Is behaving yourself wisely before these jokers. I kid you not, because David, he had to do that with Saul. And Saul had a problem with David because Saul knew that God favored David. Saul knew that David was the next choice after him because God had rejected Saul. And some of these people, God already fired, okay? God already fired some of these people from their duties. And they're mad at you because they dropped the ball, and now you're the one that God is passing the torch to. You're the one that's now got to move forward and run with this baton because they fumbled the ball. They fumbled or dropped the baton. And that's why some people cannot stand you. All right. So I want you to get this in your mind. I'm not telling you this just to boost your head up. I'm telling this to those who know you have done your absolute best to be a better person. You know this on the inside. And you are very self-aware. This is for somebody that's self-aware, because you got some people, they play victim because they don't want to look at themselves. And that's a problem. And if you cannot look at yourself and say, hey, I know I do things to make people mad, and I know exactly what it is. If you cannot do that, and the only thing that you can do is say, well, I don't understand why they don't like me, but you just did something to make somebody not like you, and it was ungodly, where you're going to be the one that's stuck in a negative cycle. You're going to be the one that's operating in being in denial. And we don't want to be in the now, because if you're in the now and you won't look at yourself, how can you expect God to justify you or vindicate you if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, if you're not treating people the way that you want to be treated? So you got to treat people the way that you want to be treated and do your best to do right within your abilities, okay? Because if you're sitting back playing victim, then none of this message right here is going to help you until you're able to look at yourself and say, you know what? I've been wrong how I've been talking to people. I've been wrong how I've been treating people. But if you know that your heart has been pure towards others, in other words, you've had good intentions towards others, and people been doing you dirty, they've been returning you evil for the good that you've been giving them, this message is for you, okay? Not those playing in the now, all right? So that's just a little FYI. So, I want to let you know that the good that you do on a continual basis, when you mind your business, when you go to work, you mind your business, you do your personal best, you serve those who are you supposed to serve and things like that. I will say that there's a good harvest coming back in ways that you would not expect. And I've had that happen to me. And I know for me, you know, I was amazed with just seeing the impact of just trying to do right by people. Okay. And I'm not going to say I've always been perfect. I have my flaws, and I'm not justifying anything that I do that is wrong. Okay. So let me just throw that out there. I'm just saying, like everybody else, I'm not perfect. But I know that my goal is to do right as much as I possibly can. And that's where your mindset should be, doing right as much as you can, repenting continually, because sometimes we don't know where we might have done something wrong, even if it was unintentional. So I wanted to share what God had made known to me about someone that had gave me a hard time some years back. And God had me to understand clearly why this person had something against me. And the person in this person's mind, and I'm not going to tell you whether this is a man or a woman in this moment, but what I will say, so if you hear me refer to this person as there, it is not following the alphabet pronoun, but it's more so to hide this person's identity, because my goal is not to oust this person, because this person definitely needs some prayer and deliverance, but it's to show you how a person thinks. So, or a person that thinks that that has an issue against you, that's jealous of you for having an advantage in one area of life that they do not. So this person, on the outside, when you look at this person, you think that this person got it going on. And especially if you're looking at this person from a worldly perspective, all the things that the world admires. And for me, because I'm in Christ and I've been walking in Christ for a while, it's just certain things that don't move me about the world anymore. It's certain things that don't impress me. Some of those things, when you look at a person, like this person is part of the Greek organizations, the Divine Nine. And and so when people look at certain ones that are part of the Divine Nine, a lot of them are held in high esteem. But for me, I'm not impressed about what organization a person is a part of. I'm more so impressed with how a person treats people, how genuine a person is. So this person is a part of that type of organization. And To some people, that's supposed to mean that they are more important than others. And that's to some, okay? So then, so this person also had a higher rank than me in the area that we were working in. And, that was another thing that a lot of people would look at and be like, okay, well, this person's part of this person is over you to a certain degree. So they're supposed to make this person somebody or whatever. And I remember when I came across this person was assigning people bad notes left and right. And it came to the point of where, okay, that I feel like this person fell out of, and this is what I said, I felt like this person may have fell out of favor with people because of it. And the point I'm getting to with this person is that at the end of the day, when I had something go on in my life that everybody wanted to celebrate, people came together and threw me a celebration. And when that person encountered the same thing, no one did that for that person. And it took me a couple of years until God helped me to see that was exactly why that person could not stand me. And when I look at that dynamic, I see a Saul versus David dynamic, because Saul was jealous of David. Saul was jealous that people was bragging about how David took out more people in the other person's army, okay, than he did. People say, oh yeah, Saul took out this, but David took out tens and thousands of people. Okay. And Saul couldn't stand that. And so when I look back at my situation that I was dealing with, I realized that this person felt some type of way because when it was a life celebration for me, people came out, brought me a bunch of gifts and all that. I didn't ask for it. And I wasn't the best of friends with everybody. I had a few elite friends that I would talk to, but it was other people that seen something more about me that was worth celebrating. And it's not that, I think that I'm personally a great person, but I'm telling you, when people came together for me, I wasn't expecting it. I was not. But the person that was giving me a hard time was jealous. And that's why the person did the things to me that was done to me. The person was bullying me and mistreating me. And the person felt that because of the status, because of the connections, that they deserve to get the same thing, if not more than me. And that's what God had showed me concerning that person. And I learned and I understood because I seen a video on Instagram where they was like, there's people that have more than you and they envy you. And, I thought about it, but now I understand. Because you got some people, they get things, they acquire things, and they think having things in a certain and having certain associations is supposed to bring them certain results. It's supposed to bring them, in their eyes, the admiration of people. And I know with this person too, this person is also a flatterer. If you don't know what flattery is, it means this person tends to kiss up to people. I've observed that as well. So this person thought by having all these material things plus kissing up to people that's supposed to make people like them. And me, people who know me, and if they can tell you the truth about me, I don't kiss up to people. I don't bow down to people, and I don't expect people to bow down to me. I just do my best to treat people the way I want to be treated. And I move on from there. So I share this with y'all to encourage y'all so that if you see someone mistreating you and you don't know where it's coming from, on the outside, you're looking at this person like, why is this person so unhappy and they have more than me? If that's how you're thinking, because it's something that you have experienced that has caused that person to become jealous of you. It's something that you have that they don't have. That no matter how prestigious they want to be, how special and esteemed that they want to be, or how special they think they are, there's something about you that they cannot obtain. For one, because they're not you. And number two, somewhere down the line, they fumbled the ball. Okay. And like I told you, with this particular person that was after me, this person would do mean things to me, and this person, again, when this person came into that environment, this person was doing things to people that people didn't like, and so people wasn't studying this person like that. And so that was an advantage for me. So when something happened in my life that was good, everybody was willing to celebrate. But because this person had already did their dirt, and people was just like, you know what, we don't care, congratulations, whatever, but we're not celebrating you. And so that person seen that. And that's something that I was able to see years after having that interaction with that person. Okay. And again, this is to encourage you, because you might think a person got it going on and they supposed to be the star, they supposed to be the X, Y, and Z. But if a person is truly happy, they're not going to mistreat you. They're not going to fake it with you. They're not going to pretend to like you. If a person is really happy or full of joy, okay, they're not going to do things to you because they're jealous. So if a person is giving you a hard time and you don't know why, it's coming from a place of jealousy. It's just a matter of understanding, where is that jealousy coming from? Why are they jealous of you? Okay. Another example I want to use too. Let's say if you are a young person and you have proven yourself in some way and you get elevated, quicker than those that been laboring for years. Okay, then some of them, they're going to get mad at you. They want to give you a hard time because they feel like you too young. Who the world is you to give them orders? Who the world is you to instruct them? And that's how some people think. And some of it is coming from a place of jealousy, but it has nothing to do with you. And I want y'all to all know that no matter how God elevates and blesses you and shows you favor among men, keep on walking upright, because God will avenge you. Okay? God will avenge you. And if you don't believe me, read Isaiah 54:17. And this is specifically for his children. That's a promise in his word. Okay? Because no weapon formed against you will prosper. That means they can try any and everything to try to throw you off path, to try to provoke you and everything like that, to try to get the wrong response out of you. But at the end of the day, the weapon will not work, because you are a servant of the Lord. And to be a servant of the Lord, that means you are living for him. You're thinking about him in everything you do. You are working on yourself to please him with his help. Okay? So I want to bring that to your attention, that it is God that's going to give you the victory through Christ. That's also a promise in his word, according to 1 Corinthians 15:57. God will give you the victory through Christ. Just make sure that you're walking upright, because if you behave yourself wisely before God, these naysayers, these people that got a problem with you, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you just blessed like that. But at times it's a part of the territory, okay, that sometimes some people just got to try and see if God is really with you. Okay, and Saul had to even fall back when he realized that God has been with David. All right. So I want y'all to be encouraged, and look, y'all, God bless you.